you're 17 years old.
Yes.
You're a New York Times best-selling author.
Thank you.
And you became that at 11 years old. How proud are you of
I
you
couldn't be prouder. I couldn't. Both my kids I'm incredibly proud of, but Alice, in this book, she took the worst thing that ever happened to her and she turned it into advocacy so that nobody else would have to go through what she went through at the hospital.
Tell us where the book came from. Something happened to you in your life. And
yeah, so after my first high school football game, I was 14 years old. I got really intense stomach pains that night. And it felt like nothing I'd felt before. It didn't feel like a stomach flu. Didn't feel like I had to throw up. I did throw up, but then the next day I was like, Mom, maybe we should go to the hospital. We went to the hospital, and I was just telling them, I'm in so much pain. This is new pain. I've never felt anything like this before. And they just told me I had a stomach virus. And I kept pushing, and they were not listening to me. And for 32 hours, I was in the hospital, and they were just said I had a stomach virus, when really, in reality, my appendix had ruptured. And I had been left with a ruptured appendix, and I became septic and was in the ICU. And for 4 months, I was sick, and I couldn't go to school. I had to get 3 laparoscopic drains inserted, and it destroyed my body. I lost so much weight. I'm 5'10", I'm really tall, and I was under 90 pounds for a while. It was really horrible.
wow, but you came out. Thank God you're okay.
Thank you.
Your book is powerful. I love that it says use your voice. What would you like readers to take away from your book?
Well, really to use their voice and to always advocate and push for yourself when you feel like something's wrong. And this book is directed at kids because as a 14-year-old, I mean, I was able to function and talk to adults because I was in high school, but I was never told what to do in a situation, especially in the hospital, and especially when the adults weren't listening to me. And I felt like I was bothering all the doctors, and they made me feel like I was being attention-seeking for expressing so much of my pain, when in reality, they didn't diagnose me with appendicitis, which everyone knows what appendicitis is.
Yes.
And the only reason why I'm here is because my dad had the agency and was able to call the head of the hospital, and he demanded that I got an x-ray.
Yeah.
And and once he made that phone call, I got the x-ray, and I'm doing this, and I'm sharing my story for all the kids who don't have a dad in my power, who don't have the agency to call the head of the hospital, because those cases happen, and I don't want it to happen to anyone else.
Come on. You're giving me chills, young lady. I am proud of you. Thank you. Advocating for others, and you've outdone yourself with your daughter. Oh my goodness. What is has the response been from your readers so far with your book?
Well, I've gotten many emails, and the first response was my sophomore year, and this was a year after my illness, and I wrote an op-ed for CNN, and I got a DM on Instagram from a dad begging for help. And his daughter was going through the exact same thing that I had been through, and I connected them with my family, and we were able to get her help, and she's made a full recovery. But it made me think about how often this happens.
Yes.
And even just sharing my story, I've gotten so much outreach of people who've said that they've kept it in mind and kept pushing for their kids and pushing for themselves and got the care they needed. And I just want everyone to know that it's so important to always push when you feel like something's wrong.
Oh my goodness. What is the best piece of advice would you say your dad has given you?
Well, he's definitely given me a really strong set of values for my work ethic. And I'm really grateful for him. And he's taught me how to be patient a lot, because especially when you're growing up, you're like, I want this now, I want, you know, immediate gratification. And he's taught me that to be patient and to work really hard, and good things will happen. And I'm really grateful to have him as my #1 role model.
Oh, I'm proud of her, Jake. Like, she's my baby. I understand.